state heat conduction through a plane wall without heat generation. Now consider a plane wall. This wall is exposed to hot gases on one face and exposed to the cold air on the other face. Now temperature of the hot gases is Th, temperature of the cold air is Tc, temperature of the inner face of the wall is T1 and temperature of the outer face of the wall is T2. Now convective heat transfer coefficient between inner face of the wall and hot gases is HH. Convective heat transfer coefficient between outer face of the wall and cold air is Hc. Now thickness of the wall is L and thermal conductivity of wall is K. Now the region to the left of the inner face of the wall where temperature gradient exists is known as thermal boundary layer. Similarly, the region to the right of the outer face of the wall where temperature gradient exists in the fluid is known as thermal boundary layer. We will discuss this topic thermal boundary layer in detail in convective heat transfer. Now heat is transferred from hot gases to the inner face of the wall by convection. Further, heat is transferred from inner face of the wall to the outer face by conduction, and further heat is transferred from outer face of the wall to the cold air by convection. Now if we want to calculate heat transfer rate, then we know that heat transfer rate for the convection between the hot gases and the inner face of the wall is given by HHA TH minus T1, which is Newton's law of cooling. Further, heat transfer rate from inner face to the outer face by conduction is given by Fourier's law of conduction, which is given as Ka T1 minus T2 divided by thickness of the wall L. Okay, and further heat transfer rate from the outer face of the wall to the cold air is given as HHA T2 minus Tc. Now as I already told you, in 1D heat transfer, to maintain steady state, heat transfer rate should be constant and there should not be any absorption of the heat within the system. So heat transfer rate is constant throughout the system. Whatever the heat is transferred from hot gases to the wall, same heat is conducted from inner face to the outer face and same heat is convected from outer face to the cold air. So heat transfer rate within the system is constant. Now we need to determine the electric analogy. So if we compare the formulas for heat transfer rate with the electric system, then we will find that. Now firstly arrange the first formula. If we rearrange this first formula, then we will get TH minus T1 upon 1 upon HH into A. Okay. Similarly, if we rearrange this formula, then we will get T1 minus T2 upon L by Ka. Similarly, after rearranging this formula, we will get T2 minus Tc upon 1 upon Hc into A. Now as we already know, in electric circuit, electric current is given as potential difference divided by electric resistance. Similarly, in thermal system, heat transfer rate is given as temperature difference divided by thermal resistance. So all these quantities are thermal resistance. Okay, this is thermal resistance for conduction. Okay, and these two are thermal resistance for convection. We already discussed this in the lecture, which is thermal resistance. Now if we want to draw electric circuit for this system, then heat is transferred from hot gases to the cold air. Okay, there is first convective resistance between hot gases and the inner face of the wall, which is 1 upon HHA. For the first heat transfer process, this is our basically convective resistance. Okay, now heat is transferred between T1 and T2 by conduction. Okay, so the thermal resistance between T1 and T2 is conductive resistance and it is given by L by Ka. Further, heat is transferred from temperature T2 Tc by again convection, and the convective resistance for this process is given by. Okay, so this is our basically electric circuit for our thermal system. Now if we rearrange our heat transfer formula, then we will get the temperature difference like this. From this equation we will get Th minus T1 is equals to Q upon HHA. Similarly from this T1 minus T2 as Q upon Q into L by Ka, and similarly from this T2 minus Tc as Q upon 1 upon Hc by A. Okay, now name this equation as equation number 1, equation number 2 and equation number 3. If we add all these equations, then T1 and T1 will cancel each other, T2 and T2 will cancel each other. So we will get on the left hand side as Th minus Tc, and right hand side Q is taken common and all these terms will be added. Okay, so we'll get equation like this after adding equation number 1, 2 and 3. After rearranging, we will get the formula for heat transfer rate as Th minus Tc divided by 1 upon HHA plus L upon Ka plus 1 upon Hca. Now from here we can see that this term below is basically summation of the thermal resistances. So we can write this as sigma RTH, and because all these resistances are in series, so we have taken R1 plus R2 plus R3, R1 plus R2 plus R3. So from here we can conclude that the rules which are used to add electric resistance hold good also for thermal resistance. So if thermal resistances are in series, we can get equivalent thermal resistance by adding this. Okay, and if thermal resistances are in parallel, then we can get equivalent thermal resistance by this formula. Okay, now consider the formulas to determine the heat transfer rate in the system. Now first of all consider these three equations and finally this equation. So if we compare this with the electric circuit, we can find that if we are choosing 2 points, 2 temperatures in the electric circuit, then we need to consider all the resistance between these 2 points. Here in this formula we are considering these 2 points Th and T1. So we have considered only the thermal resistance between these 2 points. Similarly, when we considered T1 and T2, then we have considered only thermal resistance between T1 and T2. Similarly, when we have considered T2 and Tc, then we have considered only the thermal resistance between T2 and Tc, and then when we have considered Th and Tc, then we have considered all thermal resistances between Th and Tc. So for the reaction problem, heat transfer rate is basically given as temperature difference divided by thermal resistance. So our basic method to determine the heat transfer rate in heat conduction problem is basically to determine the value of thermal resistances between the points which we have considered and substitute this value in this equation and determine the value of heat transfer rate. We are going to discuss a problem from GATE 2014. According to problem, a brick wall which is having thermal conductivity of 0.9 watts per meter Kelvin. Now this is the brick wall which is having thermal conductivity of 0.9 watts per meter Kelvin, of thickness 0.18 meter. Thickness of the wall is 0.18 meter. Separates warm air from cold ambient air. This is warm air and outside is cold atmospheric air. Okay. Now on a particular day of winter, the outside air temperature is -5 degrees centigrade. It means temperature of the cold air Tc is -5 degrees centigrade. Further, the room temperature needs to be maintained at 27 degrees centigrade. It means temperature of the hot fluid is 27 degree centigrade. The heat transfer coefficient associated with outside air is 20 watts per meter square Kelvin. It means Hc is 20 watts per meter square Kelvin. Further, neglect the convective resistance inside the room. It means this resistance is neglected in the system. Now the heat loss in watts per meter square is. Now we need to determine the Q, heat transfer rate within the system. Now consider this equation. In this equation we have considered all three resistances: inside convective resistances, conductive resistances, and outside convective resistance. In the problem it is given neglect the convective resistance inside the room. Okay, this is a room air, so we have neglected this. Now if we are given the temperature of the TH and TC, so if we consider temperature TH and TC, then we need to consider all the resistances between these 2 points. If it is neglected, then we are left with only these 2 resistances. Okay, so substitute the value of sigma RTH, which is L by Ka plus 1 upon HCA. Okay, now all values are given in the problem. TH is given, TC is given. Okay, and we need to determine the value of heat transfer rate per unit area, which is heat flux. When this whole equation is divided by A, okay, then we will get Q by A as TH minus TC L by K plus 1 upon HC, because whole equation is divided by A. Okay, now we know every value. TH is given, TC is given, L thickness of the wall is given, thermal conductivity is given, and Hc is given. After substituting the all value, we will get the heat loss as 128 watts per meter square. So we will stop here and discuss the heat conduction for composite wall without heat generation in next lecture. Thank you.